just way too many critical penalties today would be the biggest thing. I mean, just a lot of critical penalties on both sides. Kickers were really poor today. That's probably the biggest disappointment because they've been very good in practice. I've been kind of cautious with them in practice and, optimistic and, really anxious for this day and see how they kind of respond. And they really had a bad day. Teasdale had a good day, but, our kickers were inconsistent, to say the least. Very capable. I mean, based on what we've seen in practice, we're in good shape. But today they just didn't handle the just a little difference in environment, I guess. So we got a lot of work to do to get them ready for 85,000 in here. That's for sure. But I think they're the right kind of guys, and I think it'll all work itself out. But that's probably the biggest disappointment. That and the critical penalties. We had a couple big tips that led to picks. Marcus Edmond made a great play on a pick six. It was a really great play. Had some big play. Had a lot of good things. I mean, when you're repping three groups and you're not truly game planning against the opponent, you're just kind of running your stuff. Sometimes it doesn't match up, so you can't really get a true evaluation. So you have to really evaluate each player and their particular job and not get so caught up in maybe the group because you got a lot of different people mixing in. So, we'll see that as we go through the tape. But a lot of good things. Sharon Peak, really, really good day. Jordan Leggett, nice play. Ray, Dion had a big play. Travion had a touchdown. I mean, there was a lot of good plays. Deshaun, I thought, was excellent all day. The tempo wasn't anywhere near what we needed to be offensively. That was another thing I was kind of disappointed in, was just our overall tempo of practice. But had some good runs. Wayne Gallman, Fuller, all of them. Tie-dye, Adam, everybody ran the ball, I thought, effectively at times. But to me, the critical penalties, the turnovers, some of the missed assignments we had, those are things that get you beat quick. And it's when you're in my perspective, it's if you're just looking at one side, you can get a little different deal. But when you're looking at the whole thing, we got some work to do. But that's okay. Again, we got 3 weeks to get ready to play, and we'll be ready to play when it comes time.
In your mind, even if you can't report it yet, in your mind, do you have an idea as to when you think Hammond will be back?
Hammond, he'll be back when school starts. As far as back on the team, he's done everything that we've asked him to do. I'm really pleased with what he's done with all of his off the field responsibilities that he needed to take care of, and he's gone way above and beyond what we've asked him to do. So he'll be back, but then he's got team discipline, and but he'll play when we run him out there. But it'll gonna be a while.
But he could play in the first game.
He could, but he won't.
He won't.
No, sure he could, but not here at Clemson. He won't.
Individually, who might have been some of the winners and some of the losers today?
Again, it's until I see the tape, it's really not fair to give you a true answer. I mean, there was some guys that just jumped out. I thought Sharon, it was good to see him finish some plays, show his speed today. I saw some good things. We had a couple guys getting fights. Ben was having a good scrimmage, and all of a sudden he gets in a fight and he's thrown out of the game because that's exactly what's going to happen in the game. Just kind of lost our temper. That's we're 2 weeks into camp. These guys they're tired of each other. They're together all day, every day, and they're beating each other up every day, and they're ready to hit on somebody else. And so we had a couple guys lose their temper out there today, and he was one of them. So now he's thrown out. Tried to make it as game realistic as possible today. Guys have to be disciplined, and we were an undisciplined team today. It's just that simple. But there was, having said that, there were a lot of good things. I thought our backs did a nice job. Deshaun Watson was outstanding. We look over on Shaq. I thought DJ Reader made a couple really nice plays. TJ Green was having a good day. Kind of tweaked his ankle a little bit. He's okay, but he was having a good day. Marcus Edmond was a bright spot. Just there was a lot of individual things, but big picture wise, not what we need it to be.
You mentioned Peak standing out today, but how has his camp overall been as a whole?
It's been good. Been good. And Mike was out today, so he got all of our 9-man work, and it's something that we've been doing all fall. I really started back in the spring, and have been doing all camp. We've been cross training Mike and Sharon, and both of those guys have been working, our 9 and 5-man positions, and Sharon did a nice job today. Again, really showed up. Caught a big slant, broke a tackle, and went about 60. One of them, and then had another finish down the field. Might have been called a sack. You never know when you're blowing a quick whistle, but you still got to defend the play on the back end, and he did a nice job of finishing that one. So there were some good things.
Has Sharon been standing out overall?
Oh yeah, he's had a good camp. Excellent camp. Excellent.
It's not uncommon for you or any coach this time of year to say we're not ready to play any game. We're nowhere near ready to play any game. If you've got talent, repetition, doesn't that in and of itself ultimately work everything out or work a lot of things out when you are ready?
Yeah. Well, we it's just a process that you have to go through to get a team ready to play. I mean, there's just no way we can be ready. I mean, if we were just taking our top 22 guys and repping them every day, we could be ready to play. But that's just not where we're trying to build a team for the season. We're trying to install a defense and an offense for the year. And then all of a sudden and they're tired and things like that, but we have a plan that we believe in, and that's why I know we'll be ready in 3 weeks, because we got I know what we still have to go through, and then you start cutting it down, you start game planning, you start cutting taking all your offense and you move it to this to get ready for a game, and same thing defensively, and then you're really studying an opponent, and you get guys back feeling good again, and then you're not repping 3 groups. You cut it down to the guys that you're going to try to get ready to play, and all of a sudden things start to clean up pretty quickly. But right now it's not time for that. Right now you got to give everybody a chance to compete, and we gave our 3s a lot of work today. Our what we call the pride group, they got a ton of snaps because we feel like we've got a bunch of young guys that we just have to give them that work to get a true evaluation of them. And that's just kind of how our roster is right now with 40 freshmen. We got a lot of guys that are trying to get reps. So we structured it that way. I feel good about our first groups and have, but I'm really more focused on the depth at all the positions. And in some areas, like linebacker, we're just young. I mean, they're green. It's just no other way. I mean, I like my bananas real ripe, nice and yellow, and a little bit of brown on them. That's when they're really, really good. But we just got some green ones out there that are going to get there, but it just takes a little bit of time. And I just know 3 weeks from now they're going to be a lot better than they were today, and because they're getting coached hard every single meeting, every single play, and then once we get through camp. Wednesday we'll start school, and the schedule changes a little bit. And I love this team. I really do. I like the makeup of the team. I think they got a great spirit to them. I think they want to be good. We're just not very good yet, but we will be. We'll be ready to go. I don't have any doubt.
Without any new injuries?
I think Jim Brown got dinged up, our snapper, but. TJ kind of rolled an ankle a little bit, but I don't think I think we got through it pretty good today.
Coach, it seems like every couple days another preseason predictions coming out with having you guys as a dark horse to make the college football playoff.